In Arkansas, what we're finding is that a high human population, along with increasing urbanization and increasing traffic volume, is what contributes to higher deer-car collisions. From a study that we did several years ago, there appears to be about 1,500 accidents that occur on our state highways and on some of our federal highways. We don't really have good information about what's happening on some of the secondary roads, and yet other studies in other states say that's actually where most of the deer vehicle accidents are occurring.
Basically, deer are crossing where there's essentially good deer habitat. There are travel corridors for the deer that intersect those roads, and it's near urban areas. So it makes a lot of sense of why collisions occur where they do.
The time of day that's particularly bad for deer strikes or deer vehicle collisions is in the late evening hours and the early dawn hours, and when it's at night.
Somewhere around 6 to 7 a.m. and then the evening anywhere from about 5 a.m. to about midnight are where most numbers of accidents peak.
The combination of people driving home around dusk and the deer being active is really a lethal combination. In the case of deer versus auto, it really is a lose-lose situation. Not only does the deer lose, but oftentimes the person that's been in the auto loses because they experience damage to their car. In some cases, they experience injury to themselves or to their passengers.
Through some of our studies, we've estimated that there could be an economic impact in Arkansas as much as $35 million a year, and potentially as many as 18,000 deer vehicle collisions annually.
Drivers need to slow down whenever they see a deer. They need to take their foot off the gas and be very vigilant because there may be other deer in the area that will be crossing the road in front of them. If drivers are using that same roadway many different times, they'll probably start to notice that the deer are crossing in about that same area every time. So use the cues you have in your environment to know where those locations are.
If you see a deer crossing sign, pay attention to it because it's there for a reason.
Also, there could be woods close by, and that's really impeding your visibility, but it's also a location that deer are more likely to cross. Besides slowing down, we say stay on the road. Some of the most serious accidents have occurred is when people try to swerve to avoid a deer. Stay in the road, stay in your lane, slow down. You may not want to slam on the brakes if there's someone coming up right behind you, so you may want to tap on the brakes and just slowly slow your vehicle down when you see the deer. If the deer is stopped in the road, you may want to honk or flash your lights if there's no oncoming traffic. However, do not honk and do not flash your lights if the deer's on the side of the road. You have the potential to scare the deer into the road if you do those kinds of activities. If you do hit a deer, what you need to do is call the state highway patrol if it's indeed an accident that has created damage to your vehicle or some personal injury. And also contact the Arkansas Game and Fish, the wildlife officer or the wildlife enforcement division. And you need to report to them if it's a buck or a doe, and you also need to report to them what you intend to do with the deer. In Arkansas, you're allowed to keep the deer, or you can choose not to if you want to do that as well. So, and if there's no damage to your vehicle, you don't have to contact the Highway Patrol, but still go ahead and contact the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission.
To learn more, contact your county extension agent and follow the links in this section.